Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Sharon and I am from Sojo Chalks. I am an independent designer with Chalk Couture and I'm bringing you this week's project from my blog. So before we get started, I would so appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel and like this video. That way you'll be sure to get notified when my weekly project goes live. So in this episode, we're going to chalk on a paper scroll that we created over on the blog. I'll put a link down below to the blog that has detailed instructions on how to create this scroll, along with the materials you'll need to create the whole project. So real quickly, you guys, this is just a paper scroll that I got off of Amazon. This is a wooden dowel, and I drilled holes for the twine to go through, but if you don't have a drill, that's fine. You can also just loop it around and glue it. That'll work too. And so basically what I've created is 100 feet of material that we can chalk on and just change up as we need to. Okay, so let me just finish with this scroll. So what I'm going to do is just fold over the end, fold it under on the back side, just so I get a real clean line on it. So once you have a nice crease at the bottom of your roll, I just like things in threes. It's just the way I like the look of it. So I'm going to attach 3 of these clips. And these actually came in a pack of 4, so I even have 1 extra yet. And again, this is just going to give some weight to it, so it'll hang nice when it's up on the wall. For our transfer today, we're going to use Life is Better in the Country. This just came out with the Spring-Summer 2021 catalog. And this is a B-size transfer. So if you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, it comes in 5 sizes, the designs, and these are reusable silkscreen transfers. So everywhere that you see the white is where the color is going to pass through onto your surface. And these basically can be used on any smooth surface, porous or non-porous. Walls, your windows, your mirrors, your chalkboards, of course. So this is B size, 8.5 by 11. This scroll is a 12-inch scroll, so it's going to fit perfectly. And I am just going to pull enough down for the project itself. And I'm just going to use these scissors as a stopper so it doesn't roll while I'm working on it. So these transfers, reusable 10 to 12 times, and they're sticky on the back. Now, when you remove it from the backer paper, just set that aside. We're going to use that after it's all cleaned up, and that's what we're going to store it on. Or actually, anytime you use the transfers, you want to fuzz them. And what fuzzing does is it gets a little lint on that sticky side and kind of tones down the stickiness. Remember, they're reusable, so they come out of the gate pretty sticky. And I'm just using our fuzzing cloth here. It's got a terry side that's perfect for this. And just a few times to tone that down. Okay, and then the transfer itself, you guys, I am just going to center it on this sheet. And I'm just going to eyeball it. And then the key is you want to make sure it's down without any bubbles or wrinkles. So I am just going to start from the center and move my way out across the silk screen. I'm not so worried about the areas that we're not going to chalk on. And this will make sure that you get great crisp lines in your project. Okay, so to chalk today, I'm just going with our black velvet, just 1 color, but there's over 40 colors, so whatever you choose, so it's best for your decor. You want to make sure your chalk paste is the consistency of sour cream or Greek yogurt. And you can always, it's a water-based product, you can always add water to it. Distilled water we recommend. If it gets too thick, a little goes a long way. And then for a tool, I'm going to use our small squeegee. And this has a beveled end, and that's the edge that I'm going to actually scrape across the silk screen. So grab a little of the chalk paste, and there's really no right or wrong. If you want to start in the center and work out, go top to bottom. But the goal is to get this silk screen covered. With a thin enough coat, you should be able to see the design through the silk screen. So you're not going to use a lot of this product at all. And I'm just scraping it through the screen. And again, this could be done in so many colors. I think that's the great thing about Chalk Couture, is we could all sit down with the same design, but all choose different colors and get totally different outcomes. Now all that extra paste just goes back in the jar, and I'm just going to give the screen a once over and grab any extra that's on there. Make sure I have that screen filled out. So while it's still wet, and this is the key, you're going to grab a corner, and actually you're going to grab 2 corners of the transfer and remove it for your design. So this I'm just going to set aside right now, and we'll come back to how we're going to clean that up. But didn't that come out great? Now this particular design, I should say, has some distressing in it, so I just love that rustic look that it gave it. And in just a few minutes, that'll be dry. So let me set the project aside and show you a couple things on cleanup. So for the paste itself, before you seal up the jar, you just want to make sure that the edge or the lip of the jar is clean, so it's got a nice seal. I always recommend giving it a quick spritz of distilled water and just let it sit on the top, and then close it up tightly. And next time you use it, when you open it up, you're just going to give it a stir and make sure all that water is mixed in, and you're ready to go. Now to clean the transfer, all you need to do is take it over to the sink, run some water on it. I use our board eraser, and I just wipe off the top of it. The goal is to make sure that the screen is all clear. And then I'll just flip it over and rinse it on the back as well. When it's all clean, I'll let it dry sticky side up until it's probably about 90% dry. And for the backer paper, you just want to make sure that you use the shiny side to the sticky side of the transfer. So here's our project for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, when you're ready to change things out, all you're going to do is roll this paper down and get a clean section and decide what your next design is going to be. So thank you for joining me in this week's episode. If you have any questions, put them down below and I'll be sure to answer them for you. And don't forget, like this video and subscribe to my channel. Type VIP below in the comments if you want to be part of my Facebook group. We'd love to see you there. And if you are interested in learning more about what I do, type info down below. So happy chalking, and be sure to join me next week for another episode with Sojo Chalks.